Hello guys, and welcome to You finally made it to my channel.
Welcome to the channel.
Today's talking points are the new 2021 receivers, or AV receivers I should say, from Yamaha, Denon and Marantz. So why a special video about the 2021 range of receivers then? Well, you may know from last year that there's been a HDMI 2.1 bug found in many 2020 receivers, and a lot of people are waiting for a solution to this problem because their Xboxes and other consoles and whatever not working correctly. So the 2021 range of receivers have actually solved this problem, and it's all done without the need for any additional add-ons like the external HDMI box that was offered by Denon and Marantz for the 2020 lineup of receivers. If you bought a 2020 AV receiver and it's just recently, like within the past month, anyway, the new 2021 receivers from Denon and Marantz, we're just going to focus on the top boys here. So the Denon AVC-X8500HA, and from Marantz is the AV8805A. Now you might notice that these model numbers are basically the same as the previous AV receivers, except there's an extra A added at the end. Now that A added at the end makes a huge difference. It basically means that it's going to support 8K 60 Hz, and what I think is more relevant, it's going to support 4K 120 Hz without any faults. All rear HDMI ports are HDCP 2.3 compliant. They can handle the full swathe of HDR, so the dynamic versions and all that. Variable refresh rates are also supported. Auto low latency mode, HDMI QFT, which is quick frame transport, and QMS, which is quick media switching. So basically, if the frame rate changes on your content, there's going to be no blank screens between, anything like that. So on the audio side, let's focus on the audio side. Dolby ATMOS VIRTUALISER is also going to be added. So if that is your cup of tea, as well as DTS:X Pro, which allows for 13 channels of DTS:X decoding. What's more is that they're going to be supporting IMAX Enhanced certified. They're both IMAX Enhanced certified as well. Compatible with AURO 3D, Apple AIRPLAY 2, which I think is quite a big one considering the recent update from Apple, and the lossless audio for free, or not for free, well, you know what I mean, no extra cost, all that stuff. Amazon Alexa, HEOS multi-room system, all going to be supported. And most of all, it's ready to tackle lossless audio, as I mentioned earlier, and high-res audio streaming too. Now, all of this comes for a very affordable package of £3,699 for the Denon and £3,899 for the Marantz. Guess I should just sell my car or something like that. Anyway, if you have a 2020 AV receiver and you're unable to return it, I believe you have two options. Your first option is just to get the external HDMI box if you are a Denon or Marantz customer. That's their fix for the problem. And I've mentioned that in my previous video, so if you want to go look at that one, go look at that for more detail. I believe it's a free upgrade, if you could call it an upgrade, as it should be. But you also have, buyers of the 2020 lineup, you also have the option of sending your receiver off to Denon or Marantz, to a local dealer, and for £679, you can get a board upgrade. Now, personally, I think that's the better option, but does £679 sound affordable to you? And do you think it's right for Denon and Marantz to charge such a high figure for something that basically is their fault? Now, how about the Yamaha receivers of 2021? So we have 3 new models confirmed from the RX lineup. So we have the A4A, the A6A, and the A8A. And the company says that they have been working to ensure compatibility with new source devices, and a firmware update will basically be it. That's all you need. If you buy the 2021 Yamaha receivers, a firmware update is all you need to unlock the new functions of HDMI 2.1. And I actually addressed this point in my previous video, which I mentioned earlier. Now, Yamaha have also explained what the 2020 AV receivers need to get their HDMI 2.1 upgrades. I mentioned it in the other video. Basically, they're going to do a board swap. So like Denon and Marantz offered, but they charge £679. Yamaha do this for free, which I believe is the right thing to do, and it shows that the company are supporting their customers. Now, what's the big difference between the three models, the A4A, A6A, and A8A? The A4A is a 7.2 channel receiver. The A6A is a 9.2 channel receiver, and the A8A is an 11.2 channel receiver. So that means if you want full Dolby Atmos, so if you want front heights and rear heights, well, actually it's not full Dolby Atmos, because I think you can do like 30 channels or more or something like that with Dolby Atmos. But if you want the real Dolby Atmos, the front heights and the rear heights, then you're going to want the A6A at the minimum. The 7.2 A4A will only be able to give you 5.1.2. So basically front heights, no rear heights. So personally, I think the value is with the A6A. Dolby Atmos, as you'd expect, DTS-X and AURO 3D. And what's more, they also support AIRPLAY 2, Spotify Connect, and Amazon Alexa. Now, one thing that Yamaha have added is their surround AI tech, which basically uses an algorithm to automatically select the best digital sound processing mode based on the content you're playing. So basically, these receivers, they sound like an audio purist's nightmare. Anyway, moving on to how much they cost. The cost of the A8A, the big daddy of the group, let's say, that will be £3,299 for the 11.2 model. The A6A, which is where I think the value lies, £2,299. So you save £1,000 over the A8A, and the A4A is £1,299. So they're basically 1,000 each, right? So 1,299, 2,299, 3,299. There's a difference of 1,000 between each of those. So yeah, to conclude, what's my advice? Where would I be going if I were looking for a receiver in 2021? Now, I might sound like a broken record, but I think after all the different... my dog is barking. Shut up, Bruce, shush! After all the AV receivers I have tested over the years, I will always say Yamaha is, personally, I believe, the superior product, because every Yamaha I've tested, there's been rock solid stability. They don't overheat. I've never had to send one back. I've sent Denon and Marantz products back before for a refurb or whatever you call it, and they send them back and they've still got the same faults. And they it's just, I believe the user experience isn't as good. Maybe it's different now. But anyway, even Yamaha's response to the 2.1 HDMI problem is better. You can clearly see that's a better solution offered by them at no extra cost. And the other thing is, if you're thinking of buying an AV receiver today, my advice, don't buy the 2020 models, as I think you will be setting yourself up for a nightmare. I just think leave that. Don't even bother thinking about it. And maybe you could get away with the Yamaha because they're going to offer a free upgrade anyway. But yeah, I think these receivers, all of these receivers, the 2021, the 2020, they are so expensive for what they are. So if you are really, really after good audio quality and you listen to music, that's let's say 50, 60, 70% of the time you want to really listen to good 2-channel audio, then I don't think that these receivers will offer you the value that you are looking for. But if you are looking for an all-in-one solution that offers acceptable audio quality, I would say higher than average audio quality, but not at the price, then I would probably go for the Yamaha A6A as I think that is likely to be the sweet spot. But I would not buy these receivers today. I would be waiting until spring 2022, because this is when these AV receivers, they typically get reduced by a substantial margin, maybe even £1,000 or up to £1,000. And this is what I do every single time I upgrade my receiver. You wait until about May, something like that, May, June. You wait, and then you get the last year's receiver at a much, much, much better price. And there's barely any difference, you know. So, but the thing is, this year we have the 2020 cock up of last year. So I wouldn't even do that. I would wait until 2022. And the other benefit of this is, if the 2021 lineup comes out and we find out that there actually are still faults, then these faults tend to get ironed out later on in a product's life, between the middle of its life to the end of its life. The first units of anything, pretty much anything in life, you know, whether it be cars, you know, phone or AV receiver, you tend to get the faulty ones off the first batch of production. So that's my opinion. That's my take on the situation. You don't have to listen to me. Ask me a question. I'm happy to get back to you in the comments. I'll see you next time.
Now you subscribe or I smash you.